Yeah, big welcome to you, my dear Gemini. And of course, a big welcome to all the other zodiac signs that felt like looking into this reading today to get an inspiration or to get a clarity or to simply learn, right? So, the same way that I'm learning this craft, learning how to tell stories about about self-conscious, moon in Gemini, the lovers, loving yourself, not loving someone else, but loving yourself. And the sun has moved into the emperor, and the emperor is Aries, the head, and so the sun highlighting the moon. This combination creates a cardinal, and this of course a mutable sign. And cardinal is pushing, is starting, is action. And you are more airy, you are more adaptable because you can be between the end and the beginning. So here you have a story of consciousness, searching for consciousness, understanding consciousness, and here the action to do that, the willingness to push myself through by active, not thinking, because this is an air sign and this is a fire sign, by doing, by pushing myself through, like these flowers and these plants are pushing through to be out there and to experience this life. The yoga position that I did for Aries is meditation, of course, because he is the head. He is very clearly the brain, and of course higher consciousness, consciousness in all forms, the subconscious, the conscious, the higher conscious. And only through meditation we start understanding all these different layers that we can bring our mind into. For you, I used King Pigeon because you are the arms and the hands and you reaching back into the subconscious, because the story is that the conscious is looking at the subconscious and the subconscious is looking up at the higher conscious. So I created this in one position, and by reaching back to my feet, by reaching and opening my heart, by facing myself and looking up into a higher consciousness, opening up myself in the heart through the feminine and in my sexuality through the masculine, and the two swords, and then the people or the couple down here that is realizing what's happening up here in the big sky. So the combination of these two creates, of course, an active search for awareness, an active search for consciousness, and going out there and being intellectually and of course physically challenged by the search of self. The court card that is connected to Gemini is the Knight of Swords. The date is between 10th of May to 9th of June. This is then your court card, if not the card before, the card after. Please look in the description below for the dates. So I look first into the past and I incorporate, of course, the last reading, and the last reading says, you are expanding into the knowledge of spirit. Spiritual knowledge is something you love. And you are loving spiritual knowledge. You are connected to finding the truth. And so the first card that came from Rider-Waite, because that came out in 1920s, 1920, The first card that came, I have a few in between. The first card that came is the Two of Swords, which is Moon in Libra. And there we find an inner balance. We are on a crossroad, the arms are crossed. But for me it's also interesting because from the physical, the right arm, right, the right arm is connected to the left side of the brain, and the left arm is connected to the right side of the brain. So it's almost like by crossing them in front of her, she is creating an equilibrium, and that's why she's then able to go into the One Sword. That's what I feel when I look at this card. She's ready to make peace with duality, make peace with her right and her left side, and make that decision from deep within. Then Aleister Crowley, 1969, comes here, the Knight of Wands, and that's a Sagittarius. He too faces the past. So for some reason you really fiery through this energy, because this is fire and fire. All knights are fire, but he's fire and fire, and you are fire and air. So they would call this the airy part of fire, which is why the horse is being pushed in such a way. It's really running fast, it's really quick. The mind, the thinking, the thoughts. But now there is an action coming. You feel like you want to take action. You feel like you want to create something. I'm going to put this down. Then from the Handel Tarot, 1985, comes the Six of Wands, which is victory. So by going deep within, by looking deep within, by understanding the right and the left side, and by crossing your arms, and by making a decision, you are realizing that you can actively create a success because you have found peace from within. And that peace from within comes then through the medicine woman, the path of the medicine woman as the high priestess. And she's the seeker. These are German cards, so but the picture is she's looking at herself with that mirror, and she's searching for the inner light, and you are also searching for that. You're the type of person that has the desire to look for that. And here you are. While you're searching within, you find a deep victory from within, maybe through the help of a Sagittarius. And then you come to the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is the feminine aspect of the High Priest, of the Hierophant. And she sits here and everything is mirroring itself within me. And we can see that here. While you look deep within, while you're understanding who you really are, finding the fire, finding the action, you start realizing more and more who you really are by understanding that everything is a mirror reflection to who you are within. Very beautiful, beautiful past energy here. And so when we look at it, right, you can see that here is a whole story already told. And that yes, you are loving to search and to find knowledge, wisdom, inspiration. And then of course the Two of... So this is your past. Looking back, this is where you're coming from. Looking back, this is, yes, spiritual knowledge is something you love. because here is the High Priestess. So you are on the path of spiritual knowledge. Then comes the future. And here's first an oracle, the creativity oracle, bringing us just a picture, and of course there's a sentence, but bringing us into the visual, into the creativity, however you express that creativity. The word here is risk. Be aware, or you will have to beware. Do not deny the risk and hazards that you see. 35, the number 8. Seeking for yourself and having had a victory in seeking for yourself, having had a success, an adventure by seeking out yourself, comes with risk. And it's, I think, simply saying just watch out how you go about it, because this is quite an adventurous energy. This is the horse that goes up. And this is a bird that is fiery. And of course here up is the butterfly, the transformation that we go through when we go through risky situations. Then comes the 3 of emotions. Mercury in Cancer and the 4 of voices. Jupiter in Libra. So the risk that you're taking brings you deeper into yourself, into understanding the 3 aspects of you, of your card, of the Lovers, the 3 people, the angel, the man, and the woman. And here again are 3. And it's the subconscious, the conscious, and the higher conscious that you're looking at. And you are going to meditate on that. You're going to dive deeper. So here you're standing in the water, but you realize you need to go deeper. You need to completely dive into the cosmic bath and realize that consciousness is something that can be felt, but can only be lived. It's not something that we can talk about or feel about. We need to live it. We need to live it every moment of our days. And this consciousness is truly speaking to you that you are living this consciousness, living the understanding of what does my mind do when it understands that these 3 characters are within me. And you are going deeper into that understanding. But also now you going further with awakening. So the interesting thing is that you have 2, 3, 4. You have like a 2, 3, 4 succession. Swords, emotions, swords. Then with the camel, looking at the moon through the animal spirit, which is looking at her. Yeah? Camel is looking at her. The camel is a fire sign. Resourceful, independent, knows oneself. There we go. When in balance, calm, content, sparkle in the eye. So the camel can handle literally anything because it has in its back the water of knowledge, the knowledge that you gain through the Three of Cups, the knowledge that you gained because you have arrived at a deep understanding of what it means to love oneself. And that makes you go deeper into your meditation, that makes you go dive deeper. And the camel is watching your progress. The camel is giving you that calmness, that empowerment, that I can get through anything. That's what speaks here. No matter how big the risks are, I can do it. I have found the message. I have found in the seeking, I have found that I am everything, and everything is me, and me is everything. Right? And then comes you, Gemini, the lovers, in a completely different deck. And you see the beautiful energy that these two have with each other. And it's saying, yes, I can hold on to the dark, and the dark can hold on to the light. And of course, a lot of people think this is a relationship. But truly it's a relationship first and foremost with yourself, which gives you then the strength, the two major arcana, Gemini and Leo. These two energies are next to each other, speaking that maybe there is a relationship, maybe there are two friends, brothers, sisters, a deep understanding here that brings two people into a creative connection, into a threesome. 1, 2, 3, right? So there's again the 3, like the 3 with the 3 of water, that you awakening deeply to what is possible when I incorporate these 3 stages of my mind: subconscious, conscious, higher conscious. The power that I get, the strength that I get to go out into the world and be wild, be out there. Which leads to these 2 cards. One is the butterfly garden and the other one is the art of seduction. So we have another butterfly. This butterfly up here. And now you have the butterfly on your head, which is saying, I realized something. I realized higher consciousness. And at the same time, you are seduced again and again by life. You are seduced again and again by the opposite. One is being attached, the other one is barely touching. Very interesting. And in there I found the sign of Scorpio, the sexual seduction that we display to get someone else. So are you seducing yourself? Are you able to seduce yourself? Are you able to love yourself and give you everything so that you become fully transformed in your head, not only sexually but also in your head. And it looks like it's going deeper and deeper into that. Realization, into that it's not about these sexual seduction or these I hold on to you. It's about a deeper liberation, a deeper freedom that you craving and that you searching for. Because the wake-up call is here. The wake-up call is here. It's the judgment or a transformation that's inevitable, because you know that you have to learn again and again that transformation is inevitable, and that you, when you have arrived at a certain stage, when you have arrived, that it doesn't mean you arrived and that's it, and life continues and everything stays the same. No, it's continuously changing, continuously challenging us, and the wake-up call is coming again and again to trust the transformation, to trust that something higher is calling you, that this guardian angel above you is always there for you, and that you must find the path forward, a balance, the Two of Pentacles, Jupiter in Capricorn. So the Two of Pentacles is really finding within you the same inner peace that you then live in the outer peace as well. That you standing on one foot, balancing here on top of this building, being up where the guardian angel is. He is up here. So it's like, yes, this is calling you, but you call yourself. And then you move forward and you're like, okay, now how I'm gonna bring this energy forward into life and live it. By understanding the childlike energy that is within you, by being attracted by magnetic forces, by you attract the people to you when you know who you are, and you look at yourself and you realize there is no self and others, there is only one energy. So the Fool, the Zero, is calling you to become like a child, to become open and vulnerable and sensitive again. It's almost like the future is calling you to again release the thought that you have to be mature, that you have to always become this responsible personality, which of course the more we age, the more we have to be responsible, but we also have to stay in this childlike wonder. We have to stay in our creative process of beginning again and again fresh. Now, every moment is a moment to feel all three stages, the conscious and the subconscious and the higher conscious. Again and again we have to stay in this childlike wonder. Because then the Tree of Life is coming and speaking to you from the number 58, the number 13, which is a 4, which is then connected to the Emperor. To the numbers I'm coming in a moment, because the 4 is also here connected to the Emperor. So you have a 4-4 portal, which is then meditation, which is looking deep within. But you also have the 13, which is the butterflies, Scorpio, death card, really letting go so that new things can grow. And it's almost like open your legs. See that? It's like Scorpio sexuality, Scorpio, the symbol of Scorpio in here, sexuality, speaking to open yourself up. Very interesting reading. Yeah, 58. The essence. The tree of life is a sacred symbol throughout the Americas. Its deep roots reach into the lower world, the unconscious, while its branches reach to the heavens, the source of destiny. Unconscious, unconscious, conscious in the middle, and up here, the higher conscious. To be whole in your life's journey, it is important to have deep roots and high branches. A tall tree with shallow roots falls in the first wind, but a tree with deep roots can weather any storm. The invitation to find health and balance in your life, reflect on how you dance with your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. Wow, exactly what's here. If you are too much in your thinking head or in a world of fantasies and daydreaming, connect more with your roots and physical body. If you are caught in mechanical doing and you are feeling stuck, not able to imagine a better life for yourself, open yourself to be inspired by the heavens. Let your roots and branches be aligned with your heart's longing. Right? So reflect on how you dance with your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. And that's what it is. Actions. The fire. 6. Actions. Thoughts. That's together also a 6. And feelings. This is the number 14, which becomes the 5, which is then connected to the Hierophant. So the look at yourself as the high priestess that you already did and that you continuously doing is bringing to you emotions and feelings that may sometimes bring you into a dependency, into a I am holding on to someone because she's holding on to him and she's holding on to him again. So this came first. I'm just going to put it in order. So be aware of how you holding on to another person emotionally instead of trusting that everything is within you, everything is here. You are all 3 stages. And this is the wake-up call again and again that's saying, keep moving, keep going forward, keep moving into this childlike wonder again and again. Don't allow anything to hold you back from being interested in life, because I mean that's also what the Knight does. He's showing you, yeah, let's do it together. You are, poof, right? And you follow him, you see him, you're like, yes, I want to go there too. And the risk, right? Allow the risk to either bring an awareness to you or beware of what happens. Because when we deny it, things are going off. And so the Tree of Life is speaking about go deeper into wherever you're searching, whatever you want to know about yourself. Go deeper and at the same time open yourself here in this present moment, because you are naked. You are opening up yourself completely. The hips open. Open yourself now. The more deeper the roots go, the more you can open yourself into allowing yourself to feel a love, a deep love, of course, for yourself, but also a love that creates self-consciousness, an awareness that is always there with you. And the other person is just holding the mirror to you so that you can learn and grow. Wow. Each reading, I have to tell you, it's crazy. I always see, this is actually each time a message for me as well, right? So I'm again and again surprised how these cards really speak to me. So I hope I see you in the next reading, which is then when the sun goes into Taurus. We don't have Taurus, but we have a 2 of Pentacles, and we have the Tree. And these are roots, right? Taurus roots. Go deeper into your roots. Go deeper into understanding how everything is shifting and balancing and changing. And it's good. Change is good, because change brings us new learning lessons. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.